Did Christina's text to Meredith last season forewarn her appearance? Why do fans think that Calzona will come back? And who will return from the dead to appear on the beach? Hi, I'm Dylan, and you're watching Awesome Movies. Get ready for some next-level medicine because Grey's is bringing people back from the dead. McDreamy wasn't the first. Comebacks aren't exactly new for Grey's. It's been done before, including reappearances by the dead, looking at you, Denny. Amid rumors that this season of Grey's could be the last, and Ellen Pompeo's insistence that an ideal finale will reunite the original cast members, all signs show that McDreamy may be the first of many characters to make a comeback. But what about characters that have already come back? Preston Burke, played by Isaiah Washington, was the first departed doctor to be lured back to Seattle. When the cardio god left the show in season 3, he took a sizable part of Christina's heart with him. He then disappeared until season 10, when he returned to steal Christina away to Switzerland. And he's not the only one to have reappeared. Addison Montgomery, played by Kate Walsh, frequently returns. In addition, Leah Murphy, played by Tessa Ferrer, also made a comeback after 3 seasons of absence. Sadly, she only featured for a few episodes before she left for good in an unremarkable send-off. Sorry, Leia. Also, before Kim Raver was promoted to a series regular, Teddy was just a recurring character. After appearing in season 10, she took a 6-season hiatus before returning with a bang and a bun in the oven. But of course, the ultimate comeback, okay, it was just hinted, belongs to Christina. After her gut-wrenching departure in season 10, she reappeared in season 16 via a text message to Meredith, jokingly urging her to come to Switzerland. But wait, there's more. Who's that on the beach? In the teaser for the next episode of Grey's, Meredith finds someone else on the beach after Derek. Not only that, but eagle-eyed viewers who watched the premiere reported seeing another 2 figures on the beach. Does this mean we could have at least 2 more reappearances? It's possible. The team are tight-lipped though, despite a cryptic hint from Ellen Pompeo, who tweeted, "If you really think about it, there's a lot of people it could be." And while she's refusing to say who, the only confirmation we've got is from showrunner Krista Vernoff, who says, "You'll have to tune in and see who comes to the beach. It'll be a joyful discovery." And apart from the teaser trailers and hints, there's a small detail that left Grey's fans everywhere completely shook. A glance at the Grey's season 17 casting page on IMDb credits more than just Patrick Dempsey with a 2020 role in the show. According to the site, other Grey's cast members who are involved this year include the actors behind Christina, George, Callie, Arizona, and Izzy. And while this may be some sort of glitch or a cruel joke, after all, Camilla Luddington used her insider intel as Joe to admit that if she were a fan, she wouldn't be getting too excited about the names on the list. We'll have to wait and see if any of these cast members actually do make a comeback. After all, as Vernoff admitted, the idea to bring characters back was to also bring joy and escape and fan candy and all the things that at Grey's Anatomy we give people. And what could be more joyful than a reunion? With that in mind, here are our most anticipated comebacks for those characters still in the world of the living. So cross those fingers. Just like old times, Addison Montgomery. Her comeback wouldn't be the first time, but it would be amazing. Apart from both the actress and Shonda Rhimes being willing for Addison to reappear, fans are also 100% on board. In fact, when Patrick Dempsey started commenting on Kate Walsh's Instagram pics earlier this year, some fans thought that maybe it was a sneaky hint that the two had recently been together again, possibly for work and hopefully for an episode of Grey's. And this enthusiasm is shared by Shonda Rhimes, who admitted that, "I would love to see Addison back at Seattle Grace at some point. I've said a million times that before the show ends its run, Addison has got to put on her shoes and scrub cap and come scrub in at the hospital. That's a given for me." But how could we get her back? It's worth remembering that Addison and Amelia were initially really close, given that they were once sisters-in-law. So what if Addison came to see Amelia's miracle baby and his dad? It would be an epic reunion, and we can just imagine how she'd freak out over the baby's name. A great package deal. Calzona. They may have had a tumultuous relationship, but they won our hearts. Thankfully, the shock of their departures from the show was slightly alleviated by their somewhat happy ending. They ended up in New York, co-parenting Sophia, and hopefully back together and stronger than ever. Both characters could easily reappear. After all, they're just a flight away in New York, and there could be any number of reasons for their return, like visiting Meredith in hospital, nudge nudge wink wink. But what are the chances of a Calzona comeback? It turns out, pretty good. Not only is Shonda Rhimes open to a return for Callie, saying, "We love her, always, this is her home, come home Callie," but Sara Ramirez seems equally charmed by the idea. Last year, she explained via tweet that CBS was open to Callie coming back, so the ball was in the network's court. So while they may not reappear on the beach, they may just be spotted in the hallways of Gray Sloan Memorial. Here's hoping. Buy one, get one free. Alex and Izzy. Sure, he may be the most recent departure, making it odd to bring him back after only a season, but let's face it, Alex's departure was junk. Instead of closure and a heartwarming send-off, we were left with letters and tears. So really, to have Justin Chambers return to play Alex Karev would be a lovely way for the show to make up for his butchered departure. After all, Kansas is close enough for him to fly back and see Meredith, his person who is now mortally ill. However, given how he left things with Joe, it's a little hard to imagine him returning. Also, his name is suspiciously absent from the IMDb cast list for the final season of the show. So if he does come back, it'll probably be more for the benefit of the fans and less for a decent storyline. There is, however, a downside to Alex's return, because if it did happen, it would likely include Izzy, given that he ran off to be with her. And though Izzy wasn't everyone's favorite surgeon, responses to a possible return by Katherine Heigl have been mixed. While we haven't seen her since she left the show in 2010, the actress has admitted that she'd be open to a return. Sadly for her, Shonda Rhimes doesn't agree, as the Grey's creator bluntly told TV Line in 2015 that, "I'm done with that story." Yes, Shonda's response seems harsh, but given that Katherine's departure came amid some pretty shady drama, it's not unexpected. We have to admit that we're not overly keen at the idea of Izzy returning. There may just be a silver lining. Just imagine what would happen if Joe managed to get Izzy alone for a quick chat. I don't know about you, but I'd suffer through Izzy's return to see that. The only one for us, Christina Yang. It's been 7 years since Christina left for Switzerland, and we're still not over it. When Shonda teased us with a tiny glance at Christina through a text message last season, it seemed a good start to paving the way for the most anticipated comeback in medical history. Add to this a photo of Shonda and Sandra Oh from the Oscars after party, and it seemed the wheels were really in motion to get Christina back. Or is this just wishful thinking on our part? Back in 2013, Sandra told TV Line that she'd love to come back to Grey's for a series finale, but over the years, as her role in Killing Eve earned her more recognition, her enthusiasm seems to have wavered a bit. Last year, she told the same publication, "I get the Grey's question regularly, and today, my answer is no. While I deeply appreciate it because I can feel from the fans how much they love Christina, for me, Killing Eve is my home now, and that's really where I want to be." But that doesn't mean we should give up all hope of a final tequila dance party or the idea of ever seeing Christina. After all, the Grey's team has a pretty awesome way of surprising us with the unexpected. Of course, there are a few cast members whose returns could pose some logistical problems since they were kinda killed in the show. But as we've seen with Derek, that doesn't have to be a problem. That's what dreams are for. But in a world without the constraints of physics, there are only two people we really want to see come back from the dead. 007 himself, George OMalley. He may have been one of the first to leave the show, but that also made his departure so much more painful. And although it's been a heck of a long time since we last saw him in Season 5, his impact on Meredith was undeniable. In addition, T.R. Knight, the actor who played George, is still very good friends with Ellen Pompeo behind the scenes. In fact, they were spotted together as recently as April this year, when they participated in a protest against police brutality together. So it doesn't seem too far-fetched that Ellen may have asked him to return. After all, she asked Patrick Dempsey after not speaking to him for years. And though we have no doubt it'll bring back painful memories of his death, there's no doubt that bringing George back will be a soothing balm for Meredith and for fans of the show. Family first, we want little Grey. It's tough to decide whose departure hit the hardest between George and Lexi, but considering that Meredith's half-sister had only recently established a great relationship with her, it's likely that Lexi's death was the crueler of the two. And if the internet predictions of who will reappear next are to be believed, there are many people that want to see Lexi. And there are clues both for and against this theory. Chyler Lee's name may not appear on the IMDb cast list for the newest season, but the actress did suddenly follow Grey's official Twitter page this year, despite leaving the show in 2012. So whether or not it's a given that Lexi will return isn't certain. But man, do we hope the second person on the beach is her. Which character are you hoping to see back on the show, and how do you think the writers will handle it? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe for more awesome videos about your favorite shows.